TomoNews presents Birds with Brains. Yes, Polly would like a cracker.
Parrot missing for 4 years, returns speaking Spanish. How does a parrot go from "Hello, governor" to "Hola, amigo"? Darren Chick's long-lost, now bilingual pet parrot Nigel did just that. The African grey parrot originally spoke with Chick's polished British accent. Bring us some mash. Nigel disappeared from Chick's home in Torrance, California back in 2010. Julissa Sperling, owner of Happy Tails Dog Spa, found the bird and was charmed by the bird's ability to speak Spanish. ¿Qué pasó? Sperling contacted a local veterinarian who traced the microchipped bird back to its original owner. The Spanish-speaking parrot initially bit Chick, culero, and kept mentioning some guy named Larry. How Nigel survived and picked up Spanish remains a mystery. And who the heck is Larry? Estoy crudo.
Indonesian smugglers stuff endangered parrots in bottles. This is one of the most heartbreaking pictures you will see. Indonesian police discovered more than 24 yellow-crested cockatoos stuffed inside empty water bottles at the Port of Tanjung Perak customs. These critically endangered birds could be sold for a lot of money if the smugglers were not caught. Indonesia has an amazing array of wildlife species. Sadly, its biodiverse archipelago is suffering a significant decline of mammals and birds, mainly to illegal hunting. Indonesia's very own Wildlife Crimes Unit works hard to stop smugglers and educate locals about animal habitat. These majestic cockatoos live in the lush lands of Sulawesi. However, their habitat is also threatened due to illegal logging and pesticides. Did you know that almost 50% of the birds die during smuggling? That's half of them dying in vain just to make these smugglers rich. Yellow-crested cockatoos also seldom breed and are in greater danger as they only lay 2 eggs in 1 year.
A gruesome murder in Agra, northern India on February 20th was discovered when Vijay Sharma, the editor of a Hindi daily newspaper, came home to find his wife and dog stabbed to death. The city police were baffled by the case for almost a week, till the sole survivor's voice was heard. 45-year-old Neelam Sharma and her pet dog were both stabbed to death at home. But the killers weren't aware that they left a witness alive. The family parrot, Hira, would start shrieking and flapping around the cage when the victim's nephew, Ashutosh, came by. She even screeched every time Ashutosh's name was mentioned, according to Vijay. Growing suspicious, Sharma's family spoke his name in front of Hira and she started shouting, Usne Mara, meaning, he has killed. Ashutosh and his accomplice were arrested on February 26th. He confessed that he intended to rob his aunt, but then decided to kill her when she caught them in the act. They never thought about killing the parrot as it had been silent in its cage.
Coffee-loving parrot causes woman to crash her car. You remember this woman, right? The 79-year-old who sued McDonald's because she spilled hot coffee all over her lap? Seems to be a bit of a theme, hot coffee and vehicles and unfortunate results. But this story has a pet parrot thrown into the mix. On Tuesday, Angel Holyfield from Uniontown, Pennsylvania was driving and sipping and having a grand time with her pet parrot until the little bird began pecking at the lid of the cup. His impatience distracted Angel long enough that she crashed her Honda Accord into a guardrail. She reportedly suffered a broken arm and lacerations from the deployed airbag. Her parrot was fine. Angel told officials her little lovebird enjoys coffee and drinks it often, which is great, as long as she's learned her lesson and realizes it's pretty much common sense for the rest of us.
Man strangles brother's parrot over inheritance argument. A man has charged his younger brother with the murder of his pet parrot. Mr. Lin, age 48, owns and runs a noodle shop. Mr. Lin's younger brother, age 46, felt that their parents hadn't equally divided the inheritance when they'd passed away 5 years ago. The truth was that the younger Mr. Lin had already blown through his entire inheritance and felt that he was entitled to some of the money his older brother had received. The two argued, and in the middle of the argument, the elder Lin's pet parrot decided to speak up, squawking out. Mr. Lin's parrot only had about 20 individual words in its vocabulary, but the timing was spot on. But not so perfect for the parrot. Enraged, the younger Mr. Lin strangled the parrot to death before storming out. The older Mr. Lin reported the animal abuse to police, but they were unable to locate his younger brother. 3 days later, the younger Mr. Lin appeared at his brother's noodle shop to argue about the inheritance again. Police were called and arrested him on the spot.
Parrot mimics owner's dying words. The parents of a dead Michigan man are convinced his pet parrot witnessed the murder and has been repeating his last words. In May 2015, Martin Durham was shot dead in his home. Police also found his wife Glenna with a gunshot wound to the head. She survived the injury and claims not to remember anything about the incident. Initially seen as a double homicide, officers are now investigating the possibility of a murder-suicide, with Glenna as the prime suspect. She hasn't been charged, as it looks like the only witness to Durham's death is his pet bird Bud, who keeps repeating. Bud, an African gray parrot, mimics a man and woman locked in a fierce argument before delivering the chilling line. Glenna had reportedly left 3 suicide notes and may have shot Durham before turning the gun on herself. According to police records, the couple had numerous financial and gambling problems, though Glenna denies killing her husband. As for Bud, his statements probably won't hold up in court unless someone can prove he's repeating dialogue from the actual murder and not say something from a TV screen.
Talking sparrow punished for being chatty. Wow, a talking bird is really something. That's why the photo sparked a big debate on a Hong Kong Facebook forum. According to the bird's owner, Ricky, this little guy is too chatty. That's why he decided to mask him like a terrorist. Ricky even took various photos of this helpless sparrow and shared them on his Facebook wall. The action angered many internet users, but not only wasn't Ricky apologetic, he even laughed it off, saying it's none of anyone's business. Judging from his endless sparrow photos, he might be a sparrow lover. But to mask your sparrow and cause it unnecessary discomfort could also cost you a fine up to $200,000 Hong Kong or up to 3 years in jail. You never know. With their exceptional verbal skills, maybe the sparrows will report you themselves.
Florida wildlife officials looking for owl after dude posts he's gonna eat it. Yes, you are correct. That is an owl. And it's traveling in a car with a bunch of apparently drunk and stoned men after being picked up off the road in West Palm Beach, Florida. The owl in question is a great horned owl, a protected species. So naturally, the people over at Florida Fish and Wildlife and the Bush Wildlife Sanctuary are a little concerned. Especially as Johnny Duvison, the fool who posted the video to his Facebook page, wrote that he and his friends were going to eat it up. One would presume that the police may also be interested in talking to the men, as that looks like a bottle of whiskey, and they also confess to being high. But we animal lovers here at TomoNews are only concerned for the welfare of our poor feathered friend, Owlie. We hope that he's okay, and that when Johnny and his friends went for something to eat, they at least took him somewhere he would feel comfortable. Bet that night out with Johnny and his friends was a real hoot.
Eagles are pretty badass, and this is why. Researchers who had recently set up a camera trap in the Russian Far East probably thought they'd get some cool pictures of a tiger, maybe a leopard or wolf. Little did they know they'd catch the epicness of a golden eagle taking down a Sika deer many times its size. As golden eagles are swift, the deer was likely unaware that death was imminent until the moment before the eagle's claws sank into its flesh. And the camera captured the rest. Hopefully, the deer didn't suffer too much, because this was all that was left of it.
Bird versus bird, kestrel and barn owl battle in a tree. A British birdwatcher captured the following amazing footage of a nighttime slobber knocker between a barn owl and a kestrel. In the blue corner we have the barn owl, cute in demeanour but an all-out killing machine when cornered. And in the red corner we have the kestrel, derived from the French word crochel, which means to rattle. The name says it all. The prize for our winner, a comfy, cosy nest. The fighters are ready. It's time for a bird fight. And both competitors come out swinging. It looks like the Kestrel has brought some support at the entry. The two are sizing each other up, and it looks like the barn owl has the upper hand. The Kestrel has the owl with its back to the wall. Wait, what's he doing? Is he trolling him? I don't know what they're saying, but that looks like some mean trash talk. And the owl uses its weight. The Kestrel looks outmatched. The Kestrel just left. It looks like we have a winner. Well done to the barn owl. Wait, but who is that?
Frisky male turkey escapes farm, gets it on with a goose. A male turkey managed to make a prison break from a farm in central Taiwan and was caught on camera on the side of the road, attempting to romance a female goose. The two wild geese seemed to be a couple, one male and one female, who were waylaid by the horny male turkey. The turkey mounts the female goose and tries to get some action, while her partner honks for help. Luckily for the two geese, a police officer rides to their rescue and shoos away the turkey. The turkey was later captured and returned to the farm where it had escaped from. And the two geese lived happily ever after. Taipei Zoo's mountain scops owl couple has new hatchling. Heimei is the first hand-raised Taiwanese mountain scops owl. She was discovered abandoned by some hikers 20 years ago and donated to the Taipei City Zoo. The zoo has more than one owl, and they've been careful how closely they nest the birds, as they tend to be territorial, particularly if they've got chicks. Heimei's caretakers were always hopeful she'd eventually breed and help the shrinking population of her species, but despite being paired with male owls on more than one occasion, she hasn't laid any fertile eggs. It wasn't until this year that one of Heimei's eggs finally hatched, and it's thanks to a recent newcomer, a male owl zookeepers have named Ailan. Ailan is a temporary placement at the zoo as he was injured a few months ago and brought there to recuperate. Who knew the two would get along so well? The chick is about a month old and within the next 2 months should be ready to leave the nest and provide zookeepers as well as the public a closer look at their most recent fluffy addition.
Featherless bird gains fame with sweater game, becomes fashionista. A new style icon has emerged, and her name is Javi. Sweaters are her game, sock sweaters to be exact. But all was not always well for this parrot who arrived at the Tallgrass Parrot Sanctuary in Kansas last September. As a result of extreme anxiety, Javi suffers from overpreening, a condition in which birds pluck out all their feathers. When she arrived at the sanctuary, the poor bird was said to have smelled like stale cigarette butts and rotted garbage. The sanctuary rehabilitates more than 30 parrots of all sizes, among other animals suffering from all kinds of conditions. Javi, formerly known as Hobby, was renamed by the sanctuary because the staff feels that no living being should be somebody's hobby.
You are a pretty bird.
Javi was then given a new look by Sock Buddy, a Canadian company that turns ordinary socks into stylish parrot wear. And these bad boys aren't just about fashion. Sock Buddy sweaters help regulate body temperatures for overpreened parrots, helping to prevent poor feather growth and weight loss. From tie-dye to classic white sweaters, Sock Buddy has been Javi's go-to designer. And turns out she's not the only one. Apparently, sweaters are now hot in the bird world. How chic.
Police are not known to be particularly amiable towards man's best friend. But the plight of Staten Island mother of 10, Evelyn Lugo, shows that pet owners should now apparently even be hiding their birds from police. Lugo's son was taking the garbage out when police stopped and questioned him about a traffic cone being used to save a public parking spot. After a brief struggle, he ran inside his family's house. The officers forcefully entered the home, and in the process, knocked over the cage of Evelyn Lugo's beloved pet parakeet, Tito. When Lugo's daughter, Anna, screamed, "The bird!" an officer responded with, "F the Boyd," and allegedly stepped on it, killing poor little Tito.
Colorado sheriff meets adorable baby owl. A video posted online by the Boulder County Sheriff's Office on Friday has gone viral, racking up more than 3 million views. Why? Thanks to this adorable baby owl sheriff's deputies encountered while driving near a campground on Thursday. Owls usually hunt at night, but on this occasion it was just standing there, right in the middle of the road, in broad daylight.
Hi.
In the video, a female deputy talks to the cute animal, which in return seems to answer by clicking at her. The little owl eventually flew away.
Hi.